to get this done. It's a great show. Great song. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to WWE The People, the podcast for the fans, by the fans. I'm Ted Trzanski. Joining me is, actually, no, I should go down because I'm so used to saying Triple J, Triple J, Joe JG,
Yo,
Danny No Go, Danny Nagowski.
What up?
So, gentlemen, SmackDown and Raw. So we'll keep this brief because I know we really want to talk about the WWE video games. But SmackDown, I mean, I think the only highlight of SmackDown was Jacob Fatu returning. Other than that, it was just kind of a dud.
He looked good in the boot.
I called it.
Yep.
I don't think he's hurt.
Did.
You don't think he's hurt at all?
No, not at all.
I think he got hurt, but I don't think he's still hurt.
Yeah,
that man was walking. That man was way too agile in a walking boot to be hurt.
I'm not saying like he's hurt now, but when that initial jump,
possibly,
definitely, because it just seemed like an audible how Roman came back. I mean, he was coming back that night, but the whole situation when he was like sitting on the edge, going like, "Go in there, get in there, finish it." That to me was like him going like, "Shit, I'm out of this one. I can't get up." So that's what I thought. My opinion.
Fair enough.
Opinion.
Yeah, I mean. And of course, I mean, eventually, the new bloodline's got to get the upper hand somehow. I mean, you got to build up that story. And I'm wondering, are they going to... I don't see he's booked for Bash at Berlin. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I didn't see anything.
So I guess we're not going to see that happen. And I guess that's probably going to drag out to the next PLA. And then I guess we'll see what happens then. Because, I mean, it's definitely going to... It's got to be old bloodline versus new bloodline at Survivor Series. That's the only one that makes sense to me.
They're putting a lot of stock in like Jacob Fatu, so I think they're going to save him and Roman for like this Bad Blood or something like that because they're really hyping up this Bad Blood pay-per-view.
Yeah,
or PLE. Sorry.
Did anybody see a little bit of a Paul Heyman interview from FanFest at all?
I did not.
Tiny smidget.
Yeah. He basically just said that, if you thought the long-term story of the Cody story in the Bloodline was huge, he's like, this Solo Sikoa Bloodline story is going to outdo the last one. It's what he said. And
I'm okay with that.
As am I.
This is not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and I think eventually that's going to... I mean, The Rock will be back. It's just I think Mania is going to be Rock and Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah. 100%.
Sorry, my earphone's a little messed up. Fixed it now.
Rock and Roman WrestleMania. That's what it's building up to.
Oh, 100%. And somebody in this thread, not you or I, Ted, is going to get to see that.
Hopefully. I am not. Sorry, Dan. I am not gonna say nothing could happen between now and then. Maybe another knee. So
he's gonna be wheeling his son into the stadium just on a wheelchair. Nope, you're not.
We're going. I don't care. We're going.
It's happening.
For those tuning in for the first time, Danny was supposed to go with us to WrestleMania, and his son got injured in the parking lot. Dislocated his knee in the parking lot, and he ended up missing WrestleMania. So I felt so bad for you, but so happy that you're getting the good.
It's also because we're going to be talking about video games. I went into the 2K24 game, and I have the Road to WrestleMania, so I got the Philly WrestleMania 40 arena, and I was like doing the camera angle. I was like, so this is what it would have been like from our seat right here.
Just torturing yourself at this point, dude.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Hey,
yeah.
It's a story. And then, hey, I look at it this way. It's like, we got to finish our story,
That's right. Cody finished his, yours is starting.
Yeah, so, and I always wanted to go to Vegas. So
there you go. Well, jump
just knocked the mic over.
And also, everyone, if you're watching, let us know what you think in the comments, what you think is going to happen with Solo and Roman. I mean, we're trying to grow this podcast. We really want your input. So
yeah,
whatever.
I just realized you got a DX flag in the background. I never saw that one.
Yeah, I change it. I change it every one. I had an NWO one last week, so I usually keep a projector where that is.
Oh,
he's
not
on
as
his
big as
game.
yours, obviously. But
I didn't say that. Okay.
but yeah, but let us know what you think in the comments. Jump into Raw. Judgment Day gets the upper hand, just like again, it's all storytelling, just like the Bloodline getting the upper hand last week. New Judgment Day got the upper hand this week, and this is either building up. For me, Jay's got to be imminent at some point.
I'm surprised he didn't come out. I really am.
Because
speaking of like Raw and SmackDown, what's the entire card right now for Bash at Berlin?
I'm only familiar with 3 matches, which is
Gunther,
Orton and Gunther,
Cody and KO,
and
Dom and Liv and Rhea and Damian.
Yeah, the mixed tag match.
Those are the only 3 that I know as of now. That's why I wanted to wait till next week to kind of discuss the card. So if we end up doing it before Bash at Berlin, but
I just hope they don't throw in those stupid 5 tag team matches for the titles or something like that. 5 different tag teams for the titles.
It's gonna be really annoying if this Friday SmackDown, because it's supposed to be a tag match for a title match, if it ends up New Bloodline gets himself disqualified and it ends up being like a 5 tag team for the title.
I thought they're doing I saw that bit with Braun Strowman and The Miz, and
that was funny.
That was. I don't know. It keeps calling me Andre the Giant, but
hey, I like.
And then I told him my name was Braun, and then he says, "Would I give Miz a title shot?" I was like, they're going to do that Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot. We forgot one.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one match. Was it the strap match?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
The best in the world.
Match.
That's going to be good. I can't wait to see what their bruises are going to be like afterwards.
Punk's going to win.
Yeah, I agree. Punk wins that.
I don't think so.
I do, because you got to set up the rubber match for that bad blood.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you think, 1-on-1, give them the best of 3 type deal. Okay.
You think
I can
Seth
see that.
interferes?
Who?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Seth.
No. I think he's legit hurt again.
I do too, but I think this is a way to keep him relevant and in the story, just like they did with Punk.
Or keep him under wraps until Mania season so that him and Punk have their feud that they were supposed to have this year.
Or does at one point before next WrestleMania, does Punk win the world title and Seth comes and wins the Rumble and challenges him?
That's what I was going to say. Punk beats Gunther at the Royal Rumble or something.
But CM Punk would like to face somebody else if he decided to lace his boots up again.
Is this a individual who is stunning?
Yes, it is.
Oh. That's very stone cold of you to think that.
I'm just saying, Steven. I mean, Joe. Just saying. But that was, look it up if you haven't seen it. It's on the FanFest interview. He just said that if Stone Cold would like to go to sleep, he'd be proud to put him there.
This individual is a big fan of the John 3:16 passage as well.
John,
yes.
Little glass break in there. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. But yeah,
a little stack of beers in there for you. Yeah.
Little broken skull. What? But yeah. So looking forward to that match. So there you go.
I like Braun against Bronson.
Really? Oh, Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
okay.
Braun Strowman.
I think you said Braun.
I should have clarified that.
Braun. Yeah, too many Brauns.
So, all right,
a lot of Brauns.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, he's there. You might as well book him.
Is LA Knight having his match against the what the hell was his name?
Santos.
Yeah, is he supposed to have his match at Bash at Berlin?
No, I think it's supposed to be Friday.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say that's a SmackDown match, which is weird. That's what I'm saying. They usually have some sort of card, put up by now. It's 2 weeks?
Not this week.
Next weekend, right?
Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Not this Saturday. So we got a little bit over a week.
And
they're slacking over there.
But what did I tell you? I was like, I'm not a huge fan of having a big pay-per-view and then 2 weeks later it's the next one, because there was no build up to it.
There's no story. There's no story.
It's going to be like it's going to be the early Saudi pay-per-views where it was pretty much like a WrestleMania arena with a house show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally agree. Yeah, we were discussing this the last episode, so it's just. But I have to throw in NXT last night. Joe Hendry getting a title match.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I'll tell you about NXT. What I do love, I love because I follow. Funny thing is, I don't think I've seen him once in the ring outside of highlights of AEW. But I'm into like all the toy collecting videos and stuff like he does and Matt Cardona does and everything. He hasn't posted anything since he joined WWE. I'm wondering if he's not allowed to or whatever reason. But anyway,
Might be.
Yeah. So he might have to like come up with some sort of thing, kind of like what's his name did for the New Day with his gaming thing. But
yeah.
I love that Ethan Page is getting this much attention in NXT because I think he's a star, and he would. Yeah, he should have been bigger than he was in AEW. They just didn't know what to do with him, and this is what happens when you have good creative team around you. Because he was just on what was he on Raw, right? Was he on Raw or SmackDown? I want to say he was on Raw. He wasn't on the show. He was in the stands with his belt and stuff. But I'm just saying.
I think it was SmackDown. I think because the women's champion Perez, wasn't she on SmackDown too?
Maybe he was in the audience. I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, I think it was SmackDown.
But either way, like I said, like he's bringing more eyes. Obviously, Joe Hendry is too, but he's bringing more eyes to NXT. And the same thing with Pillman's kid. You know what I mean? Like they didn't know what to do with him over there either, and he's got a pretty good thing going. So I think the two of them are going to be stars when they make it to the main roster. And it just goes to show you. Like, I mean, Jade too. You know, Jade needs a little bit more work, but at the same time, like I think she's already a bigger star here, I think, and hasn't even established herself here yet. Sorry.
I just feel like the clock is just ticking for the heel turn.
For Jade, it's Jade because Bianca is the female John Cena. So
yeah,
my only gripe with Pillman Jr. is the fact that they're not giving him the Pillman name.
Apparently, I thought that was his decision.
Was it? Oh, if that's the case, got to respect his wishes then.
I think
he looks just like him.
Yeah, I know, 100%. But I think, and it would have been great if he did. But I think that's the reason why he didn't want to do that is simply because he wants to work his way up and make his own name. I think he will eventually go back to that, though. I do.
I think it would have been cool if Stone Cold came back as like his manager or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God,
that'd be cool.
If it was the PG era, he'd be coming out with a super soaker gun this time.
The Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah. Although, Danny, you might be getting a treat at WrestleMania because Stone Cold said he is open to returning.
I saw that. Yeah, that was another thing. So they said he had an interview that he said they tried to come up with something for Philly, but it didn't happen. But the fact that he lives in Nevada, you know.
Yeah, he has a ranch or something, I think.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Well, it'll be a good night.
Yeah.
We'll be watching from home.
You got to cover my party, bro.
I got you. I'll have to borrow the projector.
I have the other one. You can take that with you.
No, I can just use your house. 75-inch. I'll lock the door.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll give you.
I got a 75-inch TV in my basement if you want to use my house. So
there we go. We'll get something started.
I saw one today at the store. They had the 102-inch TV already for sale.
Damn.
Yeah.
My 55-inch screen TV seems so small compared to that.
So I said, I was like, man, that would look good on my wall. I was like, what am I doing? I got a 120-inch screen on my wall as it is. Again, and I don't have to take up any space.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say this plenty of times throughout the episode tonight, but guys, let us know what you think in the comments, especially, what you think. Let us know what you think of Raw. Let us know what you think of SmackDown. Let us know what you thought of NXT.
And should I buy a TV? Put it in the comments. Should I buy a 100-inch?
Yeah. Should Danny buy a 102-inch TV? Even
I'll be the first to say yes.
Projector?
I'll be the first to say yes.
All right, gentlemen, on to the main event.
Yes.
So we talked about this early in previous episodes. We really wanted to talk about video games, right?
I have my list in pictures.
I went through my video game vault and I brought out I pretty much my Mount Rushmore, but if you just want to talk about one game, go for it. But if you ever Mount
No,
Rushmore,
go do your Mount Rushmore. Each
all
person.
right, so I'll lead off my Mount Rushmore. Starting off, WWF No
Nice.
Mercy.
Is that the original copy?
No,
No, that's a Blockbuster rented
Oh,
copy
okay.
that
Yeah,
he never returned it.
If Blockbuster's watching,
I took all my N64 games and I got cases and I just printed them out, just so.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. I should do that too.
So
it is
there's
pretty cool.
that.
I just have them shoved in the box.
WWE
Great
Reckoning
game.
2.
So
Oh my god!
I've never played that.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
So when GameCube came out, I never had a GameCube. I wasn't into the GameCube at that point.
Can we pause this, Ted? Can I borrow that game? Because I haven't played that since I was 12.
You're good.
Next time I see it.
Beautiful. Is that the first or second one? That's the first
Second one.
Second one.
Second one.
I'm
I
sold.
don't have the first one. I only have the second one, but
Damn.
I mean, graphics were fantastic in it.
Phenomenal.
So, number 2. These two were very hard for me, but the original SmackDown vs. Raw. And then, obviously, number 1, Here Comes the Pain.
Here comes the pain.
So, I wanted to include some of the WCW titles, but, I mean, if I had to pick 4, that's it right there.
That's a solid pit. That's a solid Mount Rushmore, though.
You go, JJ. You can go next.
Yep, go ahead.
So I was rushing to this, but I had it all up here. I don't have the games to show like Ted. Ted outshined me on this one. So WrestleMania 2000 is undisputed for me because I learned how to do all the special moves through being at school and the kids and just my friends in the playground oh, you got to hit this and that. I'm, oh, great. Because all I was doing was punching and kicking. So WrestleMania 2000, WCW versus NWO. That was the only WCW game I actually ever liked. And I actually still have those N64 games. Day of Reckoning 1 and 2. I mean, you can, put them both together. I like both of them a lot. And then this was my tough one. It was either Here Comes the Pain or Raw vs. SmackDown 2007. But I went with Raw vs. SmackDown 2007.
That's fair. I mean, was that on the PlayStation 2 or is that on the Xbox?
PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. I didn't have Xbox until about 2 years ago.
Yes, it's true. Because of this guy.
Because of that guy, that's right.
All right, Danny, you're up.
All right, so again, this kind of goes along with what JJ was saying, but I don't know which one he was talking about because there was 3 of the THQ WCW games. There was WCW versus the World, I think it was, right? And then there was WCW versus NWO World Tour, and then there was WCW versus NWO Revenge. Mine was Revenge because I believe that was the first one where they had legit entrances. No, WrestleMania 2000 I think was the one that had the legit the entrances, but WCW versus NWO Revenge was my favorite because Raven and Goldberg was in Revenge.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Which
so that
one-
was
I'm sorry to interrupt. Which one had the Big Show and Hollywood Hogan on the cover?
World
Tour.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so mine would be Revenge, WrestleMania 2000. Even though the two of them are pretty much basically the same game, but it ain't like what it was now. You couldn't have those guys and those guys on the same screen. So that was it. What I loved about WrestleMania 2000 about WrestleMania 2000 had the actual pyro from the shows. You know what I mean? And it was so bad, but it was so good. When Kane would come out, it looks like freaking 7 beach balls of fire coming up. I just thought because the entrances were everything. And then as you see behind me right there, which is the WWF arcade game,
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, yep. Which is, and actually it's kind of a toss. That was a toss up because it was I loved the Royal Rumble game too. Mm-hmm. But what I hate about the Royal Rumble is I could never do it. I could that there was that little meter that you get, and then you're I always lost. So I loved playing it, but WrestleMania, the arcade game, would probably be my number 3. And I would say number 1 is so you had the original SmackDown versus Raw, and I had that as my what you call it. I would just say, all right, Warzone. I'm totally lying. It's the worst WWE game ever in history. That's why I was holding off. I couldn't remember the name of the freaking thing to catch up. But now, No Mercy is number one.
Solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was trying to think. I was like, what was that 64 game that I had that was terrible? And
I don't even remember that one.
It was WWF Warzone. Look it up. It's up there with worst games. It's right there with Superman the animated series.
I had that game. I don't want to talk about that.
No, you want the worst wrestling game? WrestleMania 21 for the Xbox.
I never had it.
Never had that one either.
That game is literally, I mean, if you had an Xbox today and you have an original copy, the career mode's unplayable because the game had so many bugs and you couldn't select anything. So they had to wait till like the greatest hits game, like the or the platinum hits, whatever, the lower price game that came out later on. Then they updated the patch on that. But if you didn't have an internet connection, you were screwed. You couldn't play the career mode. And the controls were so bad. Like, go watch a review on YouTube. The game is just, it's just bad.
I'm in it for the money, pal.
Actually,
it's all about the money.
I went from all the Nintendos and then when Nintendo 64. And then when I saw the Dreamcast at KB Toys, I saw the 2K game. I was like, I had to have that. So I get that. And then after that, I went into I had PlayStation 1, but then it was PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. And then this is how I got into being an Xbox guy is I had PlayStation 2. I had to go through two of them because if you remember, the PlayStation 2 had the first, I think it was the first system that had the DVD player. Yeah, so it ended up being my DVD player, but apparently the DVD player could warp your system. So I went through two PlayStation 2s because I was using it as a DVD player and it kept busting the whole thing. So after that I said I'm never doing this again. I'm done with this, and I went and bought an Xbox, and then I've been an Xbox guy ever since. And then I always get the PlayStations, but I always get them like usually when the Slims come out. I don't buy them like when they first come out, except for that big guy over there, the PS5. I got that.
Yeah, we won't talk about how we got that.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna drop the words. I don't want to make any political statements on here, but like it was not rigged. Okay,
It was rigged.
It was not rigged, bro. Like I paid for that, just like you all did. Okay, a buddy of mine
Care to explain, Danny?
A buddy of mine had a bunch of PlayStations, and however he got them, and he was doing those lottery things. Now, mind you, he did the Xboxes and the PlayStations. I did 2 Xbox Series X ones, lost both of them. He was doing $40 a slot. In the 2 Xboxes, I did $80 each, so I bought 2 slots. Then the other PlayStation one, which I put one. I was like, I'm only doing one. I'll get my guys who want a PlayStation more than me involved. So he was involved. A couple other friends were involved because they're all PlayStation guys.
His sister-in-law won too, and she don't even know what a PlayStation was.
That's right, she did. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't forget.
And but I was in that one too, and I lost. But
it's all fun and games, Ted. I'm not really mad.
I put a $40 thing in there for the PlayStation. I put the $40 in for a PlayStation 5, and I won, and it was the PS5, extra controller, and 3
Spider-Man.
games.
And Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man remastered, yeah, with Miles Morales. Yeah, and then there was NBA 2K and something else too. I forget what it was, but anyway, yeah. So I won that, and yeah, needless to say. But it was funny because everybody's like, yo, you should sell it. I was like, yeah, try telling your 13-year-old that's behind you, watching you, I'm gonna go sell this now. Yeah, see if I do that. I'd be a horrible father. But yeah, so that's what happened. But yeah, I was trying. So my phone, I had my tab open for like the worst game, and I wanted to make the joke with freaking Warzone, and I couldn't find it. I'm sitting here trying so my number one is blah 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 blah. So trying to find it.
I feel like
emergency podcast.
I feel like Attitude and Warzone were the same game.
Attitude, that was for PlayStation, right?
It was for and the N64.
Yeah,
I don't remember for the N64, but I do remember the PlayStation one. And that was Stone Cold was on the cover or something. You
had a better chance at figuring out how to do a finisher in Mortal Kombat on the fly than just trying to do an Irish whip in freaking Warzone. There were so many buttons you had to press. And obviously, you guys are the N64. You had the C buttons, which is 4 buttons alone.
Yeah.
And it was just everything was combo based. And they tried to go from the THQ games to this to make it, because it looked more realistic, but it was just for the time period. But like, it was the controls. It made it you couldn't have a good time with it. That's exactly why I love the new ones, is because what 2K did for a while, they did the same concept. They made it look pretty good, but then they started making it really complicated to do things. And then the last 2 games, this one especially, they made it to where you could just jump in there and play and figure it out. And that's what I like about it. That's why I love the THQ games so bad. The Wars, WCW versus NWO, all them, because you didn't have to be a freaking scientist to figure out how to play. You knew when you said special, hit that joystick. You know what I mean? It was that easy. And that's the way all these games should be. When they start making, that's why UFC games. I love UFC, but I played them and I was like, I have to put it on easy and just punch the shit out of people, simply because when it says to put them in these moves, it's so complicated, and then I just lose interest. It's my ADD. I don't know.
No, dude, that's why I love the SmackDown versus Raw game, because the controls in that game were so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would play as
simple.
Shawn Michaels. All I have to do is hit down and C, down and C, down and C, and then as soon as my meter was up, I can just hit my finisher and be done.
SmackDown versus Raw, wasn't that the first time when you see him, like when he grabs the ropes and he does the kick?
Yeah.
I think he does it. I think it was the first one he did that in a game wise. Anyway.
Yeah, and he does a little smack on his leg.
Yeah. Yeah, such a classic.
A Young Buck special.
And I believe I bought that game used at not Blockbuster. What was the other video? Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video.
Yeah, right across the street from Orleans.
Yep.
I remember us coming out of the movies and we went in there and they had like the the bin. You'd buy like the used games and stuff like that from. I bought it from there.
That's where I bought Paper Mario from for N64.
Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still had I bought mine from Blockbuster, so I had the Blockbuster tag on it.
I think she's up there playing Dr. Mario right now.
Great game.
I could never Tetris or that. I could play it, but I was like,
Tetris is phenomenal.
I'm more of an Excite Bike kind of guy.
Yeah, but that stands the test of time, Tetris.
Yeah,
Well, you
I gotta
need
watch
to
a movie.
Go take it out, pop in WrestleMania, the arcade game.
I got it.
I've come over to your house. I played it over his house before. It's phenomenal.
I got
Razor
it.
Ramon with his chainsaw will never get old.
Yeah, we're gonna do we talked about doing a retro roulette here, because I found on Amazon they got the wheel, basically a dry erase board wheel. And I was going to put like different games on different systems. My Super NES Mini is modded. I have that modded. I have the N64. Obviously, I have the newer consoles. And we were just going to put random games and spin the wheel. If it landed on like Mario Brothers 1, like you guys have to face who can get through the first level the fastest, like timed. It might be a one-on-one in Street Fighter. It might be one-on-one on WrestleMania, the arcade game. Whatever it lands on, that's how we do it. So we've been talking about that for like 2 years now to do it. We never have, but I want to do it.
I've got a PS2, I've got a PS1, I've got an N64. I've got them all. So I mean, if you want to borrow them and use them, and I've got most of the games. So
I'm getting that Day of Reckoning. That's for sure.
I've never played. I'm gonna after
It's
this.
so good.
After this. Later on, when she goes to bed, I'm gonna look on YouTube and check out the clips of it because I don't think I've ever even seen the game. Again, like I said, that was game. I never played the GameCube. That was Andrew's system, my nephew.
Underrated aspect of Day of Reckoning was the soundtrack.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, like Day of Reckoning, SmackDown vs. Raw, even WrestleMania
Great soundtracks.
21. Well, they're mostly the same soundtracks.
Oh, really?
They have a lot of the same songs in those games.
I never put that together.
So
it's probably a lot of dad rock, right?
Well, I guess you could call it dad rock now, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Back then it wasn't.
Well, that's what I know. That's what I was saying. Like when I was like, when I'm like, listen, my kids got, I got a dad rock playlist. I'm like, what's on your dad rock playlist?
That's brutal.
Dude, I wish wrestling would go back to that today. Like, go back to the heavy metal music.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of the kids are listening to it now.
Nothing will ever beat Across the Nation for Raw. every time I think of Raw, that's the first song I think of is Across the Nation. Now,
I mean,
partially biased because that's what I grew up with. But
Right.
at the same time, I still get pumped when I hear that song.
That's how I like Nickelback, so I like Burn It to the Ground.
Oh God, yeah. I forgot they sang that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, again, everyone, let us know what you think in the comments. I think we're okay to end this here. I know, Danny, you're on a tight schedule.
Yeah,
but
sorry, guys.
we can always do a part 2. So, and do like a video games part 2.
Mark, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it could change every year because I didn't even add in any of the newer ones. You know what I mean? Because the new one I love, but I didn't even bring that in because there's some. I figured we were going to go with the retros.
If you're going to go the greatest of all time, I don't even count the 2K games because it's just that one, they're too new, and
There's too many of them.
There's too many of them. Yeah, exactly. Like
It's like Madden. It got old after a while.
Yeah, it gets old, and it just and to me they keep. I know, Danny. You think they're easier. I think they're more complicated.
What the new games?
Yeah.
The 2K games.
Yeah.
Have you played the new one, 24?
I didn't play 24 yet. I played I have 23.
Okay, so perfect. Play 24, and you'll change your mind. Trust me.
I'm holding you up to that because
And it's cool. And you're training. You can go into the performance center and go through the basics.
Yeah, I miss the old days of just simple controls, and it's fun. It's fun to play. It's fun to go through the story.
So now it's like if you press A for grapple and you press A for grapple, you put the joystick up, they do something different. Joystick left, they do something different. Joystick right. A is like, heavy, B is light. It's pretty simple. And so I was like, I didn't get 23. I got 22. That's where we made our first no-go bar wrestling thing, JJ. But I didn't get 20. I didn't get 23 until it was on Game Pass to try it out. And it was like probably about a month before this one came out. But this one I was like, wow, it's actually really simple to play. Because the last game from when 23 came out, that's the one with Rey Mysterio on the front. Yeah. When that came out, I played it and I had a good time with it, but then I kind of got bored of it because it was a little too complicated at some points. It was just fun to go and make characters and watch the auto rumbles. Now I actually play, like before we got on here, I just did the elimination chamber. That was fun. So
yeah, and the reason why I got 2K23 is because it had the Ruthless Aggression Raw arena. It had the Ruthless Aggression Raw arena and Raw presentation. So it was like the 2002, Raw with the steel mill.
You could download them now.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah.
Do you know if is the old SmackDown arena in there? Like the old
one with the fist?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. All right. I think I'll pick it up. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us on today's podcast. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comments. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks, everybody.
Wow.